Howdy there, Earpers. Today we are talking about episode 12 and 13, the finale of Wynonna Earp. Stay tuned.
You're tuning into the destination for TV superfan discussion, AFTERBUZZ TV. And now, let the buzz begin.
What's up, Earpers? If we're a little crazy right now, because we're trying to lock down some exciting stuff for you, and one of the big things is we have the comic books! We're gonna talk more about that in a second. Anyways, welcome to the Wynonna Earp After Show. My name is Kari Lane, and today we're talking about episode 12 and 13, and it's the finale. And I'm joined by my awesome co-host, Amber. Introduce yourself, lady.
Thank you so much for joining us in this entire season 1 journey retroactively. My name is Amber Plaster. You guys can tweet at me and follow me on Instagram at Amber Plaster. Thank you guys so much for being here. I am so excited about the graphic novels that one of our guests on AFTERBUZZ TV, Bo Smith, actually sent to us at the studio here.
So excited.
I am going to eat this up, and we will be definitely Instagramming about this later.
Yes. And congratulations, Bo and Tim, for your brand new comic book. Super excited to read that one, as well as now I think it'd be fascinating to read the comic book after watching the show and kind of doing a fiction to film and seeing how they transitioned it.
Most definitely, yeah.
And so let's get started with episode 12.
Ooh, the chat is saying your hair is on point, hair porn.
Oh, thank you guys. My hair is a little cray-cray. I was trying to do my Wynonna Earp curls, and I ran out of big rollers, and so I did small ones, and my hair is very receptive to foam rollers, and it's like, boom! It's like Shirley Temple curls. And I was trying to tame.
It's kind of cool because her blue streaks in her hair, for those of you listening on the podcast, are coming through in a really like rock star way right now. I'm having it.
I'm gonna let you be in charge of the chat because I'm trying to.
Great, I'm on it. Don't you worry about it. Oh, yes, hair porn, most excellent hair porn.
Oh my goodness. Okay, so we're just gonna get right into it, and then I don't want to promise anything, but we might have something really cool, or at least we've tried.
Hey, well,
I just want you to know that. Okay, so that's I'm not paying attention to you. I'm just trying to.
Here's the wonderful thing about you guys in this show is that you guys made this show happen at AfterBuzz. We're covering a show that's happening retroactively, and so because of the success of you guys sharing this after show, and of course Wynonna Earp, we were able to reach out to the cast and the crew and have successful discussions with them. Whether or not we will be able to get them on the show currently is only because they're filming.
Yes, it's super exciting. They're up in Calgary in Canada, and so I'm like, oh my goodness. And now after finishing season 1, I'm like, is season 2 ready yet?
Is it ready yet? Is it ready?
Is it ready? Is it ready? Is it ready?
So if there's any complications with having guests on the show, it's only because they're busy making season 2, which we do not want to interrupt.
Yes, but they do want to chat.
Yeah.
So maybe. So let's jump into this episode 12 while we're waiting to hopefully connect to something. All right, so we have Willa and Wynonna interrogating the Revenant, and they kill him, and that was kind of the surge, and we talked a tiny bit about it last week. But then we got Willa does not like being told what to do, which we covered that last week, and after episode 13, that biatch does not like being told what to do.
Which is understandable. She's had a terrible life.
Yeah. And we're going to just blaze through kind of house. We have the hot Waverly and hot, and then Willa is being a super rude. And Coconut. Oh my gosh, guys. Hello, sir.
Hey, Tim.
Hi.
Hi.
I didn't know what to do. I called you. Did I interrupt?
No, you are perfect, sir. So guys, we have the one and only Doc Holliday on Skype with us. Woohoo! How's it going there?
It's going good. I'm getting picked up in about 20 minutes.
We will not interrupt your filming because we want to see season 2. So you do what you need to do. You hear the doorbell knock and you just log off. We will have you for however long we can have you. We're so glad to have you on the show.
Yes,
here's my sneak peek.
Ooh. Well, I don't know. You Skype's on your phone. You could take it with you.
Maybe not Wi-Fi.
This is a secret script.
Oh boy.
I can show you.
Can you tell us the episode title?
I would never say anything. I'm not dealing with the wrath of Emily Andrews.
Fair enough. Fair enough. We've heard it's absolutely freezing up there, and I love all your tweets as well, the other actors. So how's the weather going?
Hello?
Yes, I was gonna say we have some connection stuff. So I was gonna say it's freezing up there. Yeah, I've seen your tweets about how cold it is. Oh no, connection.
Might be losing a little bit of connection for him there.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, heaven forbid. Hopefully he'll reconnect, guys, because he was saying he was super nice of connecting with us, but he did say that he wasn't sure on the internet connection. But we're super excited to at least say hello. Yeah. And they're going to go film, which is super exciting, too.
Yeah.
Knowing that. All right, we're going to keep going with the episode while they try to connect.
I feel like Wynonna Earp almost has the same fandom of Game of Thrones, where people are like, don't interrupt it, don't let it stop filming, whatever we need to do to encourage George R.R. Martin to get back to it, like, we will not stop them from filming, so don't you worry.
Yeah.
Oh, we got him. Maybe we can see you. Let's see if we can hear you, Tim.
Can you hear us?
I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you now.
My internet where I am is not great.
I see that you're in the wilderness.
It's okay. We appreciate that you connected to the best of your abilities there.
I do what I can, guys.
Okay. So, I guess a quick question I had for the finale. You had some crazy stunts going on. What was that experience like?
Stunts is, Shamir loves doing stunts. It's not my favorite thing to do, but he actually had a stunt double for a couple of things for safety reasons and other reasons, and I actually didn't. So I actually did all my own stuff. So for a guy who hated stunts, I literally did everything.
Whoa.
What?
So,
that's awesome.
It was pretty fun. So once I get there, I'm kind of like, yeah, let's just do it. So then, like, the big fight with Shamir at 8 was amazing. And then in 13, there was the grenade.
Yep.
Am I spoiling anything?
No, you're good.
No.
That was what I was specifically thinking about, actually.
Yeah.
So there was the grenade, but it was actually Mikey Eklund's stunt double that went the furthest. That guy flew.
Yeah.
So, and it was just kind of like gurneys with wires, and we just like this thing with intended to blow up in the middle, and then we flew both opposite ways, and it was amazing.
Wow.
Now, did you have to have firearm experience when they were looking for you in casting this? Because your gunsmanship, I guess I'll say, is, of course, extraordinary on the show. I'm wondering if you had experience with firearms before the show.
I had firearms experience, actually, in Calgary. This is where I first learned, and it was like I was doing a space movie, so, and we were actually using these TAR 21 Israeli assault rifles, and I did a lot of gun training with that, and then they brought me out to the range for like 2 weeks just using that, and then of course using like all kinds of pistols and whatever. So when I got the part, they asked me if I had any gun training. I said, yeah, just in Calgary, and then I said at the gun range, and then they happened to be with those guys.
Oh,
so
very cool. Same gun club.
Yeah. And then I ordered a replica of Doc's exact gun, the Cold Thunderer, when I got the part, because he's an iconic gunslinger, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Gun skills. So it was really important for me to be able to be really comfortable with the gun, because I'm not. As Colin said, I trained, so I know how to load a gun and fire a weapon, but other than that, I'm not shooting guns, maybe like online. So I ordered this replica, and I just practiced like spinning it and like trying to put it. Well, the belt that was supposed to come in never came, so I didn't have the belt, which kind of sucked. But I had this replica gun, and I was trying to learn the spinning moves, and I would stick it in like my boxers, and I was just walking around doing this thing for weeks. And then when I got to set, of course, and I met the props master and the gun guy. I said, oh, here, and then he gave me the gun. Of course, it was like 5 pounds heavier than the replica.
Yeah.
And he's like, what are you doing? And I'm like, because Doc with the stuff, like, he would never do that. No spinning crap, lose that. And it was just pretty much how to draw quick and fire. And then we actually used the spin once, just because we had a director who thought it was super cool. And I kind of told him, like, hey, listen, man. They didn't really shoot, like they really spin them, because that's what the gun guy told me, and I wanted to play. I knew what I was talking about. But we ended up spinning it. I can't remember what scene it was. I think it was in the construction yard with Bobo, right before I dress up in the construction gear. I don't know episode that was, but I'm pretty sure I spun it once after I walked away from Bobo. And I think it made the movie at that point.
Well, I mean, there's not real devils in the world either, so I think that everyone on the show enjoys seeing your gunsmanship, even if it isn't real true to Doc Holliday.
Yeah. Well, you know what? Every time I fired, or even Mel or Dom or pretty much anybody fired, we fired live ammo.
Oh, wow.
It's not like, blanks, but we were firing. Like, these are real guns, right?
Yeah.
I'm not allowed to walk around with that gun. I'm not allowed to take it home. It's a real, it's a gun.
Yeah.
So they fire blanks. We really fired. It was pretty cool.
Now,
I remember when we all got together, I went to the gun range with Xavier and Dom. Xavier, he's like John Wick. And it was amazing because we got to pick whatever guns we wanted. I, of course, chose my revolver because I wanted to be true to Doc. Shamir shot everything from a sniper rifle to assault rifles, and Dom took the shotgun. So one of the first times I ever met Dominique, she was shooting a shotgun next to me. It was pretty awesome. She was pretty badass with her little British accent. Just, holy shnikes, mate, bam!
Well, she opens up her entrance on Wynonna Earp, I believe.
Yeah,
is
with a shotgun.
Yeah.
Yep.
Oh, yeah. That's
her
true.
little tiny body with like a shotgun just about as big as she is.
Yep, that's true.
Now, I got a random question for you. We have a live chat where people are watching this live, and they are rather impressed and happy to see your glorious mustache.
I tried hiding it. I was going to hide it on Twitter. And, of course, Shamir Anderson filmed me and put up a 2-second thing of him and I don't know, when I didn't even know we were being filmed. And, of course, my mustache was there, so it's done. I was going to do the whole Chris Pratt with Jennifer Lawrence not putting her in there. I was going to do that with my mustache. But it's
That's amazing. He spoiled it for you. Aww.
Yeah, Shamir.
And what has been one of your favorite things for working on this awesome television show?
I don't think there's been a favorite.
Top 3.
Every day on set is just it's wonderful. This is one of those really, really lucky casts where we all kind of get along. Like, I could be in a scene, like working wise, I could be in a scene with Dom and it's going to be super great. I could be in a scene with Mel and it's going to be super great. Shamir and I had too much fun. And I really got along with Michael Eklund. So probably top 3, number 1 would be my first day working with Michael Eklund and meeting him. And it was literally within 5 minutes of meeting him, he was stepping on my head in that scene where we first meet, and he's literally stepping on my head, and he puts like a cigarette down the barrel of my gun. That was all Michael made all that up. He's like, I think I should like step on his head. And, put the cigarette out inside his gun. What do you think? And of course the director's like, yeah, it sounds great. And I'm like, all right, perfect. So, the first 5 minutes of meeting Mikey, he was like stepping on my head. Second favorite would be the fight scene with Shamir in episode 8. Just because there was so much, that day was just magical. All the people, the extras and people there gave so much energy, and me and Shamir really, we had like the day before we practiced and trained this thing because we just didn't have time. We were so invested in filming, and we filmed this great thing, and it just looked so amazing, and so many people came together, cast and crew, to make this amazing thing, and I was really proud because, like I said, I'm not crazy about stunts. It's not like I don't want to be an action hero, So I was really proud that I got to do all my own stunts and do it. And then my third favorite, and probably number 1, would be, well, last year, but I'll say this year, was just sitting at the read-through, the table read. For people who don't know, is the first thing we do before we shoot any episode is we all kind of get together, the core cast, and then like any of the guest starring people, and we sit with the writers and producers, and we just sit around this table, and you read the lines for the first time, and you all you hear them out loud. And it was really special to be back, and just, as soon as I heard Mel kind of speaking like Wynonna, it just felt great. I felt like I was at home again, and it was really nice.
Well, I have to say your chemistry with Shamir, who plays Dolls, is amazing. We just witnessed the finale for the first time ever, and that little scene where we kind of see him turn into whatever he is, a werewolf or whatever.
The monster.
You guys, you're kind of like, oh, I hope this is the right one, and just the little looks you guys give each other before you're about to fight, or you're going down behind the car and being impressed with one another, it's real, it's tangible, and your guys' fight scenes and your action scenes are just such a pleasure to watch because you can tell that you guys really, I don't know, dig each other or like can like mess with each other and still have fun, and that comes through.
Well, thanks, because that's how it felt, you know. So I'm really happy that that's how it reads. Because we have a blast. I mean, I have a blast with everybody. Like I said, we're really, this show especially, to be a part of it, we have an amazing cast. We have exceptionally awesome producers, and I mean all the way, like Emily already. I'm like, I'm Fandress like all the way. She's so incredible. But then like from IDW to SyFy, they've all been so great to us. We're really, really lucky. And then the fandom. The Earpers,
it's unbelievable.
As special as a fandom can get, you know what I mean? Like, why do we not want to do this show for people who are really getting it, really appreciate it, and are kind of like a part of what we're doing? I feel like we're all in it together, you know what I mean? Like it's crazy because when you hear producers say, "How about these Earpers?" They're great. They know, because a lot of the time they like these, you know, sometimes you meet producers, they only care about one thing, you know, and it's about making money and getting their investment back. And these producers are invested in this show with their hearts too, which is so great, and you don't always get that, you know what I mean? So I know, I'm also fully aware of how special a thing I'm a part of. So yeah, I don't ever want to take that for granted, because it's too nice to work on something you really love doing.
Totally. Yeah.
Now, you have a lovely kind of drawl, gravelly voice as Doc. How do you transition into that mode?
Yeah, your accent is out of this world.
Yeah, love it.
It's great.
I have no idea.
I mean, I'm from the South, and I always rage against people who do fake accents. I'm like, that's terrible. That's not what it sounds like. It's not what it sounds like. And I get so angry. And you have this authentic Savannah accent that you pull out of nowhere, and I'm like, he's Canadian. Where did he do? How?
Has been a part of me forever, and especially that accent. And what, like, I've wanted to be in westerns forever. It's like my main dream. It was to do cowboys, westerns. So it's, I mean, I know it sounds cliche and everything, but I truly believe the Doc character was inside of me. Like, I was so ready to do it, and I can't do it now. Like, if you ask me to do the voice now, I can't.
Right, you're not
now,
dropped in. Yeah.
I'm going to be on set, and I'm going to have to do it. And all of a sudden, as soon as they say action, it's just there.
I was watching.
Cool.
I was watching you deliver some ridiculous line about, like, it was like, you can't keep a hound in the hound house or something. Like, it was just like silly, and you pulled it off with that accent. And I was like, yeah, no, he's right. How does anyone pull off like an old-timey Western accent without it being cheesy? It's not. I look forward to it every episode, so kudos.
Well, thank you very much.
Yeah. And apparently you can slay any compliment possible. We love the episode where you're talking to Wynonna about how pretty she would look in blue, and we were just like, that's it. Any compliment he says is just like, it's gold.
Well, because Doc says very unusual things.
Yeah.
And he can kind of land it as an insult or as a compliment, depending on his mood. And I was like, that was a weird thing to say about a car and a blue, and he's making it work, and I just don't. How? Anyway, it's a very interesting character that you play, and I'm glad that we get to have you on the show to talk about it.
Me too, and trust me, nothing's easy for this guy this year either. He's just a mixed bag of, I don't know.
Yeah.
He goes from nice to mean. Hey, man. It's what it is.
How far?
It's done.
Oh, sorry to interrupt. I was gonna say, how far in advance do you get scripts? Do you only know like episode to episode, or do you get to know more in advance?
You know, for this season, I don't think Emily knows. exactly. I don't think all the scripts are done. I think the storyboard's done. I think they definitely have an idea of where everything's going to go. But I don't know if the words are on paper yet. Either way, I never like the advanced scripts. I don't like to know stuff because unless it's something from the past. If it's something from the past, then I think I'd want to know it before reading it or try to portray it. But if not, why would I want to know something? And then, just so I don't play something that shouldn't be played.
That's
I don't
true.
know if that makes sense. Like if I find out something that's going to happen to me later, I don't want to play it now because my character wouldn't know, Yeah. And plus, I'm such a fan of the show that I love getting the scripts. And it's like my fun little moment to be like, read what happens. And then I'm always like, what is happening?
Yeah.
Because this season, the cool thing about season 2 is season 1, the thing with Wynonna Earp is, it takes a minute. Like if you invest in us, you got to give it a couple episodes to get because Wynonna is such a big story and world, and then to get all the characters and everything. But now by season 2, everybody already knows it. You know what I mean? So it's already like off and running, and that's where Emily and her team just started season 2. It's just full steam ahead, and there's like, I can just see people going crazy. I could just see Earpers losing their mind in good ways, in bad ways, in all ways. Just minds being blown. With just the first 2 scripts. So we'll see what happens.
All right.
Yeah, I agree. I've recruited people to watch the show, and I'm like, just get through the pilot. It's a lot of exposition. There's so much exposition because it's a huge world we have to understand. We have to learn everything about these Revenants, and now we're past that, and it's so enjoyable. So that's even why I'm doubly excited for season 2, because we don't need all that explanation.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, people need to understand most pilots are like that. They're kind of the hardest episode.
Yeah.
Oh, definitely.
Yeah.
I mean, there are rarely pilots that you're like, oh, great. Like, most of the time you're like, wait, what just happened? And then episode 2, you're like, oh, okay, I gotcha. And it was very much like that because it's a sci-fi show, and on top of that, you're dealing with different magical creatures within this
That's a lot
world.
you had to explain
It's a lot.
so quickly.
Yeah. But it was pulled off.
And we're dealing with Revenants, right? So it's also something people don't even know what the heck that is. Try to explain that. And we were trying to explain it at the time that Leo's movie came out, and people thought the Revenant was the Revenants.
Oh, wow.
It was all
okay.
Oh, that would be confusing.
And then congratulations on your comic book. Bo sent us the comic book, and we're super excited to check that out.
Yeah, thank you. The second part, I believe, is coming out. You know what? I'm not going to say anything because I was so wrong saying the first one was coming out, so I'm just going to shut up right there.
That's all right.
He'll tweet it out on Twitter, guys, when he has the release date for the next one.
I tweeted out the first one on Twitter, so did Bo, and we were completely wrong.
Your fans understand.
He'll lead you down a rabbit trail on Twitter, guys. Look forward to it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I keep telling Mel every day how jealous I am of her because she's doing it right now. She's in the writing process with Bo. She's doing the next 2 books with Bo, and it's I'm just so jealous.
It's so exciting.
That was my life. There's like it's kind of like you said you like listening to the way Doc talks. I love listening to Bo Smith talk. I can listen to him talk all day long, and pretty much that's all we did. So whether it was FaceTime or on the phone, and we're also like 2 peas in a pod, and creatively we're on the same page of what we really like, our likes, our interests, and history buffs, Western buffs. So I had such a blast working with him and learning from him. It was an experience of a lifetime, and I'm a comic book fan my whole life. So I'm like a hoarder. I have comic books at home like crazy. So this was like really, really the dream.
We had the honor of having Bo on our podcast.
Yeah, he was here, and that was real great talking to him about it, and he was also extremely excited about the new comic book.
Yeah, you're right. I can listen to him speak for hours as well, and I'm like, you're so kind, and you're so intelligent, and what is happening in your little brilliant brain, and we just couldn't get enough of him.
So like I said, we're so blessed in all aspects of people involved in the show. Producers, writers, Bo, the comic book writers, you know what I mean? Like, everybody's great. It's normally not that easy. You know what I mean? Like, it's just, everybody just kind of all meshes together, and everybody really cares about this character. Everybody cares about Wynonna Earp. The people involved in it love Wynonna Earp. It's kind of like their heart project. It's their passion piece. I mean, what a great story for Bo. Bo created Wynonna Earp, and his book came out when, like, the 80s, you know? So he hasn't heard anything in 20 years, and then all of a sudden you get a call from IDW saying, hey, buddy, how'd you like to redo your book, and we're going to make it into a TV show.
Amazing.
And then, you know, and then he gets to be a part of casting and writing and bring back the character, and it's a great story.
Yeah.
Is it surreal to see yourself in the comic book as well? I mean, like, you have the show, and then you've gotten this Western dream you've had forever, and then it's also in a comic book, and you being a comic book fan.
Yeah. Well, see, you say it. Just listen to what you're saying. It's craziness. Like, I remember issue 4 came out of Wynonna Earp, the comic book, and it was they did a variant cover with my face on it, my actual face. The first time I saw my drawing picture, my mind was blown. Then I saw my face, my real face on a comic book. My mind was blown. I remember we were at Comic-Con, San Diego Comic-Con, signing comic books.
That's the ultimate.
Comic book, looking at people in line, dressed like your character, and it's so surreal. You're like, how did this, and you're just like, I couldn't have dreamed this big. My dreams weren't that big. But then nothing compared to seeing my name at the top of the comic book next to Bo Smith as a writer. As a writer of a comic book was just an accomplishment that I just never thought possible. And for me, that it almost trumps everything. It trumps see myself on TV for the first time. It was everything. It was like I couldn't have dreamed that big as a kid. I remember taking my bicycle every freaking second Wednesday from like 12 years old to 19 years old to go get my comic books. I did the same thing all the time. That's all amazing. I did. I read comic books, I played guitar. I read comic books, I played guitar. This was huge.
So are we going to get some Doc guitar action on Wynonna Earp?
Hey, man, I do whatever's on the paper. I'm easy. Whatever they write, I do.
Heard that. But, you know, let it be on record that we would not mind seeing more gun skills or guitar skills in Doc's future. At all.
You didn't know Dominique Provost-Chalkley is one heck of a singer. Maybe we should do a duet, the Doc and Waves
Could
duet.
be a musical episode.
I'd love it. I'd love it. Or even just annoying Wynonna with their songs.
Yes,
I'd watch that too. I feel like for some reason Wynonna would not sing.
That one just wrote itself.
Yeah. Here we go. Take it and run with it. We'll watch it.
Now, are there any happy accidents that ever happened while filming? Like something didn't go as planned, but then it worked out to the benefit of everybody?
Yeah, I feel like that's how everything gets made. Yeah, because we're always kind of on a time, like you're trying to get everything done. It's like, I find all like the real magic happens towards the end of the day, because in the first scene of the day, everybody kind of takes their time and you kind of do all these shots to get the same scene. But then at the end of the day, you're running and scrounging and trying to get everything in. I can't think of like one specific instance, but like, because there was just, I feel like so many things happened. You know what I mean? Like I would drop something in a scene, or someone would drink something, or something would come off and it wasn't supposed to, and it all just makes the movie.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. I mean, it feels like the show clicks in a way that is kind of scrappy, and it kind of works, and I like it. Yeah.
Oh, me too.
It's a nice ragtag group of people, and like just
exactly. And I mean, listen, we don't have the budget of a lot of the other shows,
right?
You know, so what we try to do with the lack of budget is just have a lot of heart, and that's how I feel. This is like That's what I love about this show. This show is Wynonna in a lot of ways. It's the little underdog that isn't, always perfect. It's kind of vulnerable, but it's also super sexy and kind of cool, and you really, really like it. It's like, that's how I feel about Wynonna. She's not perfect, she's vulnerable, she's messed up, but in so many ways she's the hero,
She's almost an anti-hero, and especially in season 1, which I love, which caused me to call her Batman and you Catwoman.
Oh, I was Catwoman.
You're Catwoman, because we didn't know in season 1 if you would mess everything up or if you would save her.
If you were helpful or, going to be part of the problem.
Which I enjoy.
Yes.
Yeah. We enjoy guessing.
You know what? I hope that I get to ride that line for many seasons.
Yeah.
I don't know if I would like my character to jump either way, too good or too bad. I know there'd be some fans who would disagree, but I like characters like that kind of live in the gray.
Agreed. Yeah. It was interesting to see Willa go from hero to villain so quickly this season, and then we see Doc come back and have to be forced back into helping
because he never misses.
Yeah, because he never misses. That's right.
Well, and imagine if Willa does come back and we got more of Willa's past. I wonder how people would feel about Willa. I'm not saying that's a thing. I'm just...
Yeah. Well, I mean, she'd have to be... I mean, I would always be okay with... I would be really into seeing Willa's backstory and seeing what happened in the treehouse when she was a bit younger.
Yeah.
I would be totally open to that.
Yeah. See, this is just a testament to how good all the characters are. Like, all the characters have a lot of depth. Like, Bobo. Like, he wasn't... You just don't hate him. He wasn't like the evil guy that you just hate. Like, Bobo, Michael Eklund once, we were doing like a group table interview thing together, and he said something once about, someone said, what's it like to play the bad guy? And he said, Bobo doesn't think he's bad. What Bobo, the character, thinks he's doing is good. Bobo has his own reasons.
Yeah.
And I think if we found out more about why he would do stuff, like someone did something bad to that poor guy at some point to make him like that. You know what I mean? So I think all the characters have so much depth, and it's never so simple. I don't think anybody's so good or bad. Because even Wynonna, she's pretty selfish throughout most of season 1. She's got her own agenda, and I think the only unselfish character is maybe the Waverly character.
Yeah, Waverly.
Yeah, she's definitely helping everyone else, not necessarily herself.
Every other character's got their own agenda, and I mean, and Doc is like, that's, I think, how Doc and Waverly kind of got along, is because they're both kind of misfits and they don't really have a purpose exactly. Doc has a purpose is to kill the witch, and then after that, what's he got? It's the only thing he thought about for 135 years was to get revenge, and then Wynonna kind of took it away from him. He didn't even get his own revenge. She did it.
Yeah,
it's true. Something funny in the last episode, I was looking over our notes, and I absolutely loved when you did your exposition to Officer Hot of explaining everything that's going down in like one breath.
Oh yeah, that was great.
Getting her caught up to speed.
Purgatory is overrun by demon revenants, aka Wyatt Earp's descendants. I can't remember. And Dolls, well,
Dolls, he's a dick. Yeah. And she's like, that makes sense. And we were like, oh wow, that was. He just broke it down. Where is the gif of that?
It was very one of those, you always want the other characters to be filled in, and then it's like, thank you for just saying it bluntly, because that's how he is.
It felt time for Officer Hot to be brought into the fold. I mean, she was dragged along in the dark for a good long time.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah. I agree.
I like that Officer Hot. I hope she's
one of those scenes that was at the end of the day too. Literally, that was the last scene of the day, and it was me, Shamir, and Kat, and it was kind of like, I just had to do it super fast anyway because we had no time and we had to get out of that. You know what I mean? Like, we had to make our day. So
great.
It was a good choice anyway because Doc's just gonna get it out there. He doesn't,
He doesn't care.
He doesn't care. He's not big on those kind of secrets. You know what I mean? Like, why keep things from her? Everybody's been keeping things from him. So.
Yeah.
Yep. And then. Also, one of the other gems in the finale, too, is when you have the pep talk with Wynonna, and then pretty much that, like, she's doing good in impossible odds and that she's beginning to sound a lot like a hero.
That was the dog named Plucky story, no?
Yep.
with the sister. Do you know who I thought really killed it and stole almost the finale? Was Greg Lawson, who played Nedley. When
the speech to the mob.
Yeah, when she did that speech with the mob. I remember watching it during the live tweet because that was the first time I watched the episodes. Was during those live tweets, and I remember thinking, "Oh my God, Nedley's killing it right now."
I had the same exact thought.
Wynonna, I thought it was great.
Yeah, we like that scene too because it was one of those like. That was quite the pep talk and like...
And also, like, where has he been? I suddenly missed his character. I suddenly wanted to see more of him. I suddenly cared about his daughter.
Anymore.
Yeah.
Yep.
And Greg, he's a wonderful, wonderful man. He's a super nice guy. So I love that he had this nice part. And it's just, again, like, I don't want to blow smoke, but Emily, she's so good. See how every character kind of got, you know what I mean? Like, cared for. Each character's cared for. Each character had something at the end where it kind of like,
That's a wonderful way to put it. Even Champ had something at the end, you know? Yeah. He got to come back and be rude and drunky, and we were like, oh yeah, Champ, haha.
I mean, you gotta love Champ. You hate him.
We hate him, for sure.
Yeah. Actually, some of his lines, like the gluten line, I mean, he was funny.
Yeah, he's really funny.
Yeah, I mean, listen. We all want Way Hot over Champ. But I thought he was pretty fun.
Yeah. One of your other golden gem lines in the episode, too, is you don't go to war with a borrowed gun. That was great with that shootout. So how did that experience go down? How did that feel of, like, getting ready to... It's kind of, you get the OK Corral shootout all over again. I'm dying to do more flashback stuff, and I would love to do a different version of the OK Corral and have like Bobo there or somebody else there. You know what I mean? Like make our own version. Bo and I had talked about it when we first started talking about writing the book together, and one of the ideas that I had was that let's do like a Wynonna Earp version of the OK Corral, have Revenants and all kind of a posse come in. I would love to see something like that happen. Yeah. Well, you can give Bo a call and be like, hey, next episode, next issue.
No, I don't think that's how writing works.
You're like, I got an idea. Let's move forward.
In 113, when Shamir and I walked in the shorties to clear out the Revenants.
Yeah. That
was a super fun day. Because we had no time. Again, it was like at the end of the day. We had 2 takes. And they just loaded us up with ammunition, and they said, just keep shooting until your guys are out and empty, and that was it. And we just walked in and bam. It was pretty fun.
True.
I mean,
it felt fun.
TV is
it felt super fun.
Shooting people, but there was nobody in that room when it was the 2 of us. It was just me and him pretending to shoot at stuff.
Now, apparently, you seem to get all your gems end of the day, so you just need to somehow always have it be the end of the day.
You know what I mean? I think that it is that I screw up the least. I don't know. Like, I'm going at the end of the day today. So I think, or maybe I'm the fast actor. I don't know what it is. But they always bring me in right at the end.
Perhaps it allows you less time to think, and therefore it just comes out the way that...
Yes.
Yeah.
Just react.
Yeah, react. Yeah.
Because you did say Doc is inside you, so, it's just comes naturally, right?
It's true. Well, it's true. It's cliche, but it's true.
Now, you mentioned you watch the episodes and live tweet. Now, what is that experience like watching the final product? Is that the first time you see the episodes is when they air on television?
For me, it was. Well, first of all, I never had Twitter. I called it Tweeter for so long, I almost did it again. I didn't have Twitter until 6 months ago, so it was kind of like I didn't know what it was. I wasn't part of that universe. And then I didn't know what live tweeting was. And so, so I looked so much forward to it every Friday. It became so fun interacting with people that I didn't want to watch the episodes. I had gotten them a little before. They sent it to us like a week before. We get the same ones that press gets.
Okay.
Those are the ones that we watch as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, so you kind of get a couple of days, I think, or a week before. I can't remember. But you only get it a little bit before. But I would wait. Just because I wanted it to be real and organic as I was going along, because I really honestly believe that if I wasn't even part of this show, I would be a fan of the show. So I loved all the moments, and I loved kind of being caught up in it, and it was just, I looked so much forward to Fridays. It was crazy. So yeah, that was the first time that I'd watch them. And then I would normally wake up Saturday and watch them again, because when you're live tweeting, there's so much going on that sometimes you miss a lot of the show, you know?
Agreed.
Well, there's so much in these episodes, and we've often talked about that they deserve a rewatch because there is so much depth and things going on that you could miss something.
Yeah, I think this show is that's why it's got a lot of rewatchability. Yeah, there's all kinds of little beats and stuff in there that you could miss that are great.
Oh, totally. I rewatched the pilot with a friend, and I didn't realize the ringtone that went off when Wynonna got knocked over was "Happy Birthday to You." Happy birthday. And like, it seems so simple, and it probably was obvious, but I didn't catch it, and I was like, oh, she was turning 27 and she was becoming the heir, and I knew something was happening, but I didn't know the significance of what. And it's so fun to go back and rewatch these episodes. All these little nuggets are in there, and that's just a props to the writing department on that, for sure.
Yeah, like I said, they're too good. They're too good.
And it just shows also how into it the fans are as well, because when we were doing this after show, even though the show has already aired, the fans were rewatching so they could be caught up to when we talked about the episode, and they were so looking forward to rewatching an episode because they're like, oh my gosh, we're going to talk about it again this week.
Yeah, like the fans of this show, the Earpers, they've been like another castmate. They've been part. I said it at Comic-Con when we were up doing the panel. I said there should have been another chair for the fans, because they're the reason we got a second season. They're the reason that the show is a success. They're the reason that the show is something so special, is because they're such a big part of it and getting it. And they get everything. They pick up everything. It's crazy.
Absolutely. They're the reason we got to cover this on AfterBuzz, you know?
Yeah, they're amazing. So yeah, I think. Listen, guys, I'm gonna get yelled at if I'm not downstairs in exactly 2 minutes to get picked up.
Well, we don't want you yelled at, so thank you so much for talking with us.
Yeah, I'm so sorry I gotta run abruptly, but
no, sorry.
We want you to film.
Yeah, we want you to go film. Go film.
Guys, stay warm. It's -30 up here.
Woo-wee. Well, hopefully we'll be able to talk to you for season 2.
Whenever you want.
Sounds great.
Thanks for joining us, Tim.
Thank you.
All right, thank you guys.
Bye.
Bye. That was so wonderful. I'm glad we were able to do that, put that together. Thank you guys for sitting through the sound interruption. Hopefully it didn't, take away anything from the experience of being able to surprise you with Tim on the show, because we were hoping for that, but we didn't know if it was for sure.
Yeah, and he did mention ahead of time in his defense as well that the connection was a little spotty, so thank you so much for dealing with, some audio issues, but we could still hear him. And if you are listening to this, you should watch on YouTube, because you get to see him and his glorious mustache. And I was looking over.
It's almost like 3 inches long.
It was quite a mustache.
It's like, how?
Yeah, well, he had a tweet thing about it, and people are like, wait, is it real or not? And he's like, no, it is definitely real.
Dang.
But if you guys are watching this or listening to this later, feel free to check it out. And I loved all your comments about the mustache. And I hope you guys didn't mind that this episode was a bit more of a interview, but it's been great because we haven't had a chance to talk with any of the cast. But for season 2, that's what we'll definitely be going for. Any other thoughts? Okay, wait.
Should we do rapid fire thoughts on the episodes before we wrap up?
Not rapid fire thoughts, but maybe the big holy mackerel things that will be for season 2. Let's start with that Waverly is not an Earp.
Yes.
Amber got up. She's like, what?
I fully got up and wanted to flip the table.
I was like, what? But then she also with Waverly, she touched that goo puddle of the tentacle monster from the other realm and had the darkness come over her, and what does that mean? And I hope whatever it is, they can cure it and fix it, because I don't want her to be evil.
Well, it was interesting that Waverly is now going to be a pawn for darkness, right? Because that's where we're at. That's what's happening. And because she's not an Earp, she is susceptible to its powers. I think if she was Wynonna, it either wouldn't affect her at all, or it would certainly affect her less.
Yes, I would think it wouldn't affect her the same way. But it was interesting, totally random but connected. Do you notice that Willow was drinking the champagne and it didn't affect her at all? she didn't go rabid, and she was drinking the champagne, or at least she held a glass. I noticed that, and I'm like, wait a minute.
I didn't see her drink it a lot. I thought I saw her take like a sip, and she was like, drink some. Like she was trying, I think she was trying to be like, drink it. I think she was trying to be like, you guys drink.
Okay, maybe.
Because I remember her pressuring her sister, and I remember her being like, oh, well, there's poison in the glass.
Yeah. We also have the Bobo has had a mercy kill by Wynonna, which I actually thought was really sweet. Though, real quick, Willa and Bobo, you were like, nope.
No, I was not having Willa and Bobo. I was not having it as a romance. I was not having it as a relationship. I thought that Willa had Stockholm syndrome, or I held out hope that like Willa was in control of the situation, was trying to manipulate him to kill him for like a few minutes, and then I was like, no, she's really just like brainwashed. But listen, like, you know, she's. Wynonna said Willa's a double agent. I was like, well, I mean. She's a psycho.
I felt Willa has gone to the dark side, but I thought from episode 12 that Willa and Bobo were a thing. So I was like, I don't know why, but you know, that's Stockholm syndrome. And
how much control can you be when you've been brainwashed and kidnapped? Like none.
Yeah.
So no.
We have Way Hot, and we also had Tim promote Way Hot, which was awesome. That was super funny.
And Wynonna finally finds out about Way Hot.
And it was just like you said. She's like, I think she's gonna be the last one to figure out. And she was. She was like, wait, you guys are a thing? Yeah, kind of. Well, sort of. And then when she gets shot, it's like, okay, I'm so sorry. And when Waverly goes, I love her. And you're like, oh, she said the L word. The other L word.
So sweet.
And then we have... I don't think Willa, sorry, all the W's. I don't think Willa can come back. I do think she's dead. Though it would be really interesting to get any more backstory on what happened while she was gone, because Bobo's dead and so is Willa. So
I'd be open to flashbacks for Willa.
Somebody might explain it. The old one, yeah, they called it the old one, which was the, I was like, WTF is the old one. So that's that monster thing over... that crossed the line.
I definitely have more questions for the evil blonde agent lady who we are both are so underwhelmed by and don't care about. But apparently she keeps coming back, and I'm just so over her. But I have questions about why she exists. And I also have questions about Giancarlo. But I guess we'll get answers to that in season 2. So I'm going to hold off on that until season 2. I think.
I feel we're going to get more on JC, which he's like, wrong name, right initials. That was funny.
That was cute.
Dolls, we find out more how monster-like he is, but no real details. So I really hope there's more. And
I loved him becoming a monster.
It's so good. It was like, I want him to use that more. It's like, here, let me go aggro mode and take care of this problem.
I liked him going all Hulk. I was like, yay!
Yes. I was super happy about it. Well, yes. Any other final thoughts?
I mean, not enough to cover in a few seconds. So,
tweet at us, guys.
Yeah.
And comments down below. So if you're not watching this live, feel free to leave comments down below about the finale, about the show. And thank you so much for watching this. Even though the show's already been out, we're huge fans now as well. Thanks to you guys continuing the discussion, and thank you for making us feel part of the Earper family. And we're super excited to be doing season 2 whenever that is out.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Any other? I'm like, yeah, it's an excellent show, and I will probably be showing that to other people.
The show is really fun, but the show is excellent because we got to experience it with the Earpers online.
Yes. Yeah. So thank you, Twitter, for connecting people as well. Any other? Well, how can people find you to continue the Wynonna Earp discussion?
Yeah, you guys can follow me on Instagram and on Twitter at Plaster, and I also have a YouTube show where I learn video games. So you guys can follow me on YouTube at youtube.com/AmberPlaster22.
Nice. And you guys can find me on Twitter and Instagram at Kari D Lane. That's Karidlane. And once we've read these, we will be tweeting and talking about the comic books, which we're super excited to read.
Most definitely.
And yeah, you guys go check out those comic books. They're available wherever comic books are sold, because we would love to promote them and continue more of those. And they're filming season 2. How exciting is that? And
your homework is to recruit one more Earper. Everyone listening to this podcast has to recruit one more fan.
Earper.
That's your homework.
Yes. And our engineer was like, I'll watch. And thank you so much to Tim for speaking with us. It was an absolute pleasure. It was fine, even though we had some spotty connection issues. It was a pleasure to talk about the show and hearing about you know, how much all the characters and actors really are a family and get along and have fun together, which is what we want to hear about.
And we'll be in the comments on YouTube, and
Yes.
we'll notate when the sound gets better and worse, so you guys can skip through something really bad at the sound.
I wouldn't want to skip through anything that
Well,
Tim says.
some of it blows out the headphones, so.
Oh, you might want to be ready with your volume.
Yeah,
button.
I'll
Anyway.
put a note down there.
Thank you so much again for watching. Give a video a thumbs up, 5 stars on iTunes, and feel free to absolutely share this, let other people know about this after show, and let them know to get ready for season 2. Make sure to subscribe to AfterBuzz so that you'll be up to date when there'll be season 2 and other amazing shows that we cover, though we probably will be tweeting a whole lot about it. Again, thank you so much, and we will see you for season 2. See ya.
From executive producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire AfterBuzz TV staff, we would like to thank you for listening to the AfterBuzz TV network. To watch or listen to other after shows and post comments or questions, be sure to visit AfterBuzzTV.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of AfterBuzz TV.
Buzz you later.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.